From my perspective, Kody did not choose us. My kids and I wanted to be a part of this family and wanted to be accepted and loved by everyone. All of a sudden, I got like this kickback and attitude from the older kids. And I was like, I don't know why I'm trying. Just felt very, very defeated. We really, truly, my kids and I have felt like we got voted off the Brown family island. That is absolutely how we have felt.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. You know what? More details are emerging for season 19 of Sister Wives, which will be debuting on September 15th. Not only does the fall bring us Monday Night Football and football in general, but Sundays also bring us Sister Wives. If you're not interested in watching Sunday Night Football, you can check out Sister Wives on TLC at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, and Pacific. Now, new episode synopsises have been released by TLC on their website for the very first 2 episodes of the season. The first episode will air on September 15th and the second airing on September 22nd. This will be kind of interesting for those of you that follow in real time because the storyline is extremely far behind, and we're going to be learning about Kody and Christine and Robin's first interaction post-split. So we managed to get through the entire season 18 without any one-on-one confrontations between Christine and Robin. So they were never on camera together. They didn't share any airtime, nothing. They were on the same season, but never in the same room. Kody and Christine had one brief interaction where they got together and they did a lunch or a dinner where they talked about Truly. And then Kody called her angry and said that he wanted to spend time hating her. This season, they will have to be getting together to celebrate the sprinkle of Mykelti with her 2 children that were born, the boys, the twins. So season 12, episode 1, it's season 19, I guess season 12. It says, "A house divided cannot stand." This is what the synopsis reads. Things get awkward as Kody, Robin, and Christine see each other for the first time in months at Mykelti's baby sprinkle. Meri tells her friend Brandy that she's done with Kody. Janelle reveals that she's looking at buying property in Montana. All right, this is interesting. So there were a couple parties that they had which revolved around the kids. Apparently one of them revolves around the sprinkle for Mykelti when she was pregnant with her boys. So I guess a sprinkle is after you've had a first child, I guess. You have a sprinkle, not a shower, because you don't need as much stuff. I have no idea. I only had one kid. You can correct me in the comments if that's what it is. And based on the photos that we've seen and the images and the quick trailer we saw, Christine says she's not going to be friendly with them. Christine is in an awkward position because of Mykelti there, and obviously she has other kids, so she's got Isabelle as well. And Isabelle has a relationship still with Kody. Mykelti has a relationship with Kody. Actually, I think most of her kids actually have a relationship with Kody. Maybe not Peyton. I think Gwendolyn's is estranged, but at least a few of her kids still speak to Kody and Truly. So she has to deal with them, but she doesn't have to deal with them frequently. And Christine lives in Utah now. And so in order for Kody and Robin to come up for a party, that would be a joint party, they would have to travel to Utah to come. And where she lives is about 8 hours away from Flagstaff. So the first episode, we see them get into an awkward confrontation. I wonder how awkward it will be. I wonder if anything will be said. I wonder if they ignore each other. I don't really know. They look standoffish. It's weird. All right. And then we are introduced to a brand new friend of Meri's, which her name is Brandy. Okay. So that might be the blonde that she sits on the couch when she says she's not going back to Kody. And interestingly, Janelle and Maddie are looking at property in Montana. Now, I don't think they bought property in Montana. I believe they bought property in North Carolina because that's where they ended up buying property. And they want to do some cool building on some 150 some acres of property that they all bought together, Janelle, Maddie, and Caleb. Montana, I think, is where Caleb might have originated from, if I'm thinking correct. I know when they first got married, Maddie and Caleb lived in Montana, and she'd always liked Montana, but it sounds like they are going to stay in North Carolina. So first episode of the season will be the awkward run-in between those three, Brandy and Meri having a sit down about Kody, and Janelle and Maddie talking about buying property in Montana. I can't wait. That sounds like so much drama. Who thinks episode 1 sounds like a snooze fest? Now on to episode 2. Episode 2 is titled Let There Be Light. And in this, it says that Janelle considers leaving Flagstaff for good as she and Maddie look at land in Montana. So in episode 1, she debates buying land in Montana. Episode 2, she and Maddie go look at land in Montana. It's interesting. I think back when she first met Kody, she was living in Utah, and then I recall that she went and lived in Wyoming on the property that Kody's family owns at the really rundown Dollar Ranch or whatever it's called. And I remember she wrote about the book. She was living in a teepee because she was really into Native American history at the time and was trying to get back into her roots of life. Although I don't know if she actually has any Native American ancestry, but she was very into spirituality and was channeling different walks with spirituality, and that was one area she was interested in. She does like the outdoors. She loves to hike. Montana's beautiful, but I guess that's not where they land. This is the problem with these synopsises because we know in real time that she doesn't buy property there. Next, Kody learns that Meri is asking their church for a release, their religion's word for a divorce. Ooh, this sort of makes me think this could get tense. So a release is where they have to go. Remember in the episode about the kidneys where Robin said that technically Christine wasn't divorced from Kody until she had sex with another man, and she would actually have to go to a release because from the church to get out of the spiritual heaven with Kody, and they only grant releases if you go to lots and lots of counseling and do a lot of paperwork. Remember that? Robin lied and said that she had to do that when she got her divorce from her first husband. So Robin never was married by the church. She was pregnant when she got married, and because she was pregnant, she could not have a wedding in the church. She was not sealed for time and all eternity. She only had a civil marriage, like a real legal marriage, but it wasn't a spiritual marriage. So she never had to do that. Now, for Meri to get a release, I don't believe they'll show this on the show in any capacity because this church is very secretive. And the church in September of 2023 had this whole thing about how they weren't going to allow any more releases. Even if men were treating women poorly, they're supposed to stick it out. They're supposed to work through it. They even had a whole thing about how there's a lot of domestic violence in the relationships and a lot of men mistreating their wives, which is disturbing. But they wanted women to stay in unhealthy marriages and not leave. But to get a release means that she doesn't want to be tied to him for time and all eternity. Kody might have interesting reactions to this because even though Meri and he had split, technically in Kody's mind, and this is what a lot of polygamists do, because Janelle and Christine never asked for a release, he could still try to claim them for his afterlife. I don't know if he actually believes in polygamy, but if he wants to still believe that he can become a god with 3 wives, that would be how he could do it, by saying they never claimed a release from him. And then he could say, well, Christine and David's marriage doesn't count because they weren't sealed. It's just stupid mental gymnastics. But if Meri actually gets a release, that will probably make him angry, honestly. I'm interested to see how his reaction will be. And then it says, Christine and Aspen throw Isabelle a welcome home party. So Isabelle and Aspen welcome home Isabelle after she spends a year in North Carolina in community college and returns to Utah to live with her mom and go to school in Utah. So in the first 2 episodes, it sounds like we're not going to meet David, but we're going to see Janelle starting to think about leaving permanently from Flagstaff, which we know she's done at this point. And that's a good move for her. She doesn't get a release from Kody because she doesn't want to get a release from she doesn't believe she needs a release. And Christine never got a release from Kody, and we see Christine continuing on post breakup with Kody, having to learn how to interact with her ex-husband and his wife. That's pretty much what I'm getting from that. And then Meri seeking to fully terminate Kody from her life and to end things with Kody for good. You know, I want to say this about Meri. I've talked to a lot of women that have left this culture, and it's very divided about what they decide to do when they leave. Some of them don't get a release because they don't believe in it. And they're like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't believe in this anyway. It's a made up thing by some dude in a church. They don't get to decide what happens to me in my afterlife. They don't own my soul. It's just fake, right? So if you don't believe in it, what's the point in getting a release from people that you don't actually value as leaders or having authority over, right? That's what Christine said. Like, why would I go to an ecclesiastical authority that's not my authority, that I don't believe in? It's nonsense. And then to have to go through those steps is daunting when you don't believe in it. Other women will do it just for the sake of the fact that the off chance it is true. You know what I mean? And they don't want their husband to have any claim on them. Others go through with it because they literally just want to be completely severed, both legally and spiritually, whether it's true or not. Meri's choice to do this tells me a couple things. Meri doesn't want Kody to have any connection to her whatsoever. Meri doesn't want Kody to be running around in his circles saying he has these wives, right? Some men, like for instance, the prophet Dave Watson, he will claim that he has 8 wives when I believe at least 2 or 3 of them are no longer with him. I think he only has like 5 that are currently around. So he claims women that are gone because they never got a release from him, not because he's with them, but because they're still spiritually tied to him. And he uses that as a number to brag and boast. So a way for a woman to fully get freedom and to not have an ex running around claiming her when she's not theirs to claim would be to go through the steps that Meri's going to go through. To Meri, it might matter because she has family members still in the church. This was something that was very important to her mother. It was very important to her father. And she might just want to do what's necessary to be free. And that way, after all the years of Kody stringing her along and telling everyone, listen, we're still married, she takes that away from him. Because remember, Kody wanted her to fake it and just pretend like they were still together. This removes that from his arsenal of bragging rights and goods. He has no claim on her. He can't hold authority over her. It's a way for her to fully disconnect from him and in kind of a way to get revenge, honestly. If I were Meri, I understand why she would do this, frankly, because Kody so callously said that he didn't want Meri to have a claim on him. He callously divorced her, callously pushed her to the side, strung her along for years, and then said they were going to be together for time and all eternity, and then had the audacity to say publicly that if you don't remain committed to your vows, then you're not together for eternity. The merits of your covenant and your sealing depend on your behavior, I think is how he put it. And so for Meri, Kody is in a world where he thinks he gets to make up the rules. And I think this is just another way for Meri to be like, well, dude, you said that this is how you get out of it. And you claimed that I broke this, but I'm going to actually break it. Because in many ways, for Kody to again say that if your behavior and your eternal vows only matter based on behavior, it's just, again, another way for him to decide that he still holds control over her, but he doesn't count her, but he still counts her. And Meri's saying to him, you don't get to count me because I'm getting a release. It's like spiritual revenge. And I'm all here for that. I don't think Kody's going to like it, frankly. I honestly don't. Because it's work for him and it's a stain on him and it's going to make him look like a piece of crap. And she's going to tell the authorities in the church what he did wrong. She's going to tell them why she deserves a release. She'll likely claim abandonment by him. She can also claim neglect. She could even claim abuse. And none of that will look good to him, to the leaders and the superiors. It'll make him look like crap. It'll also make them not happy with him and less likely if he were to ever go back to the church to get more wives. Because if you can't take care of the ones you have, they're unlikely to give you another one. Kody doesn't want another one. That's what he says. But this could be a reason why. They don't want him to have any more because she's going to embarrass him to the authorities. So I guess in a way it's just, I wish they would show it, frankly, but they won't. Meri's revenge is going to be in episode 2. That's really what I got from that. So what are your thoughts about these synopses? Do you think it's going to be a snooze fest? How is Kody going to react? And are you excited about Meri getting revenge? Let me know about your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. It's totally free. And make sure to like all these videos and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye guys.